According to feedingamerica.org, 1 in 9 people in the United States face hunger. That means that there are over 2 children in every classroom in America facing hunger. My main goal today is to persuade my audience to volunteer or become a donor for Feeding America, nonprofit organization. I am qualified to speak on this topic because I have done an extensive amount of research in preparation for this speech. I also have multiple years of experience working in a nonprofit food kitchen in Vermont called the Grateful Hearts. I volunteered there for about 3 years and helped prepare the food and cook it for those who need it. I will begin by discussing with you the needs of nonprofit organizations that feed the hungry. First, let us discuss the needs that this organization helps meet. I will then suggest a solution that will lead to obtaining those needs. Lastly, I will discuss the negative possibilities that could occur if we do not execute the solution properly. Let's get right into it. The first topic is hunger. DoSomething.org's article about hunger in the United States states that 40 million people struggled with hunger in 2017. Thankfully, that number has gone down in the last couple of years. Before the coronavirus pandemic happened, we were down to only 34 million people facing hunger. That's 6 million less in just a couple of years. As long as we continue on the right track, we could have hunger more controlled within the next 5 years. The most powerful example that I've read throughout all of my research is the following. A family of 4 facing hunger may be in need of 34 additional meals a month just because they don't have enough money to buy food. I know I'm not the only one who's genuinely surprised by this fact. It is just sad that there are so many of us living every day with excess food, and when we are through eating, we just toss it in the garbage. Especially when there are so many families and children facing hunger issues in America. Food is literally the most basic human necessity. It's just sad that people are really spending all their money and trying to get this thing when they can't do it. We all know how important 3 meals a day is to stay healthy and strong, but not all of us may realize what lacking in proper nutrition can eventually lead to. Major mental and physical health issues are much more prominent in food-insecure households than in the households that are not. Let us discuss the health aspect a bit further. So the next topic is health. The Food Research and Access Center website states that roughly 1 in 10 households in the United States experiences food insecurity. DoSomething.org does a great job highlighting the detrimental effects of food insecurity. They state, children who experience food insecurity are at a higher risk of developing asthma, struggling with anxiety or depression, and performing poorly in school or physical activities. Ever since I was in kindergarten at just 5 or 6 years old, I've always been taught to eat 3 meals a day. And that always included that breakfast was the most important one. This is because your first meal of the day is what gives you the energy to conquer all your tasks until your next meal. Unfortunately, breakfast is the meal that adults and children facing hunger miss out on the most prominently. If they must miss one meal, let us not let it be breakfast. Mental and physical health are obviously extremely important, but let us not just completely forget about financial health as well. Poverty is yet another major issue that we face pretty much everywhere in America. It plays right into the hunger issue as well. So the final topic is poverty. According to feedingamerica.org, up to 2/3 of people that face hunger have an income that is actually above the poverty line. That just proves another major point, and that is that providing for more than just yourself can get very expensive. Even if the leaders of a certain household are making an income that is above the poverty line, they still are more than likely to struggle and not be able to provide enough food and other things for themselves and their family. ASPE.gov states that in 2020, the poverty line for a household of 4 people, including 2 children, was just $26,000 a year, or $504 a week. Then, USA Today states that the average cost for feeding a family of 4 is roughly $250 a week. That means that the average household in America is being forced to spend roughly half of their weekly earnings on the most basic human necessity. Something needs to change. Now that we have discussed the major hunger issues facing America, it is time to discuss a legitimate solution. My solution is this. We need to popularize and regulate donating and giving to organizations and people that truly need it. Donating does not always mean just money either. There are many, many ways to give back to the less fortunate. The solution is so simple, yet it would be so immensely effective if we could truly regulate donating to the hungry and poor in some way or another. It would cause there to be more food entering the circulation because more food would be being bought and spread around and prepared. You can volunteer and help out in the following ways. One option is to volunteer at a food kitchen preparing food. Another option is to volunteer at a food bank actually giving out the food and goodies to the people. Number 3 would be donate money every week or every month to help pitch in to purchase the food being prepared and given away. Another one is to go to your local grocery store and pick up a bunch of non-perishables such as cans of soup, peanut butter, dried fruits, canned fish, chicken, etc. And then the final option would be that you could go to freerice.com and answer questions of any subject to win and donate free rice to those facing hunger in the world. This option requires very little work and should be the bare minimum for everyone to log on and answer just 10 questions every day. Let me show you how it works. So this is freerice.com. I don't know if you can really see it too well. But if you answer a question, this one says dumb means, and I put stupid, just another synonym for it, and it gives me 10 pieces of rice. And so those 10 pieces of rice are going to be donated to somewhere in the world where the people are hungry and they need it. So you can just answer 10 questions, stack up 100 grains, do that every day, and you're doing your part. The final way to help out would be to visit feedingamerica.org and see the other ways you can volunteer and or donate. They have a whole list right at the bottom of their website. If you just scroll down, it says ways you can help. If we could all truly do our small part of helping out in whatever way we can, we will be instantly more successful in preventing major hunger issues for the future. Let's get it as under control as we can now before it gets any worse and possibly even out of hand. There will in turn be more money going around to fund the purchasing of the food, more people in the kitchens helping prepare the food, and more people to volunteer at the food drives and banks to actually give out the food to the people who need it. Another major positive would be that if more people were to get involved, Feeding America and other organizations would become more popular and be able to partner with the big corporate companies and can then upgrade the quality of their organization as a whole and become a bigger name. But there are consequences if we don't take action. If we decide to not take any action and do nothing, there's still a small chance that America could continue in the right direction that it has been for the past few years. And that would be fine, but it would take just as many years to get the hunger issue finally back under control, as many years as it did to get it to where it is now. If we decide to not take action, as well as stop doing what we currently are, America would quickly become fuller of the poor and hungry. That is simply not an option. We know what needs to be done for the greater good of our amazing home country. We also know what needs to be avoided. I've laid the plan, now let's execute. We've discussed what issues we face as a country in the 3 departments of hunger, health, and poverty. To help fight all three issues at once and in an effective way, we must quickly revisit what needs to be done. If you can't donate money, donate your time in a kitchen helping prepare the meals. If you can't donate money nor your time in a kitchen, then donate non-perishable food items. We can all pitch in some way or another, and all I ask is that you don't be selfish and do nothing. My main goal again was to persuade my audience that they should become a volunteer or donor for Feeding America, or any other nonprofit food organization. Here are some easy first steps that we could all take to help out. If you want to donate money, go to feedingamerica.org, scroll down, and select Give Monthly. If you are someone who wants to physically help prepare meals or buy supplies for the meals, you can go to the same website and select Food Drives. They will show you all the information you'll need. Or you can find a food drive in your local area. Every town has one, so just get there and help. Please get out there and do your small part for the greater good of America. Thank you.